I think we can all agree that YouTube sucks as a platform, right? We've all seen the tweets from our favourite content creators, talking about demonetization and not being included in search results, abuse of the copyright system and notifications not working. All of that stuff. A few of my favourite channels have had a ton of problems over the years, and they're all very vocal about it. Plus, YouTube tends to recommend you watch the same videos you've already seen. At least for me it does. I'll watch the latest video on Friday mornings and get recommended the same ones I've watched for the past month. It's annoying as hell. But Google, the almighty web lords they are, don't give half a shit, so we're stuck with it. Because of the issues I've already discussed, I like it when I'm able to log on and actually see new stuff. I've been watching lots of TEDtalks recently, and getting a ton of shit from my friends for it, so I don't need any more. I'm not sure why, but I can watch for hours when I find some new ones I haven't seen before. So, when I found one called Your Digital Footprint is Larger Than You'd Think, I was pretty intrigued. I never saw this one on their YouTube page, or on the TEDtalk website, so I figured it must be pretty new. But once I clicked on it, I saw that it was published 9 years ago, and only had 158 views. Odd, considering most of these videos get upwards of 1 million. I figured this one must have just fallen through the cracks back when the site was young, though. There's tons of videos like that, the ones that are well done, but they're so old that the site was in infancy when they were published, and so they have almost no views. The typical intro played, and the camera panned over the stage. A man stood there looking down at the audience. He was a heavy-set man, short and round. He was bald and had wire-frame glasses, and wore a sky-blue dress shirt, khaki pants, and black suspenders. Not exactly a paradigm of fashion, in my opinion. He looked right into the camera, and he grinned. "Hello! I'm sure you've all heard 1 million of these speeches, and so I thought for a long time about how I'd keep mine distinct from the rest. I brainstormed for a long time, and eventually decided I would just wing it. I have a general outline, but for the most part, this is made up on the spot." The audience laughed, and the man grinned again. "Anyway, I'm here to talk about digital footprints. Do any of you remember when the internet first got really popular? There were all these warnings we gave kids to make sure they didn't accidentally tell a paedophile where they lived. And I think that on principle, those were good things to have. They kept vulnerable kids safe. But nowadays, those same kids have grown up and post all sorts of things that really show how little they care about their own safety. So today, as a demonstration, I'll be tracking someone down and showing you how easily you can find scary levels of detail about their lives with public information. This person does not know they are being researched. They did not consent, just like you wouldn't when a creep decides to cyberstalk you. The man looked directly at the camera again, and he smiled straight at me. We're starting with the man watching this video right now. The man pointed at the camera, at me, and said, his name, according to his Google account, is Preston Lucio. A quick Google search shows that it's a pretty uncommon name. Heading over to howmanyofme.com, we see that there are apparently 2 people in the United States with that name. You're a very special man, Preston. He chuckled. The audience laughed along too. I couldn't move. Was this possibly a live stream or something? Maybe he saw my name when I joined it. Googling the name also brings up a Facebook page with his name attached. And of course, the account privacy is set to public. This makes things a hell of a lot easier for us, because we can see all sorts of information without having to add him as a friend. Our pal Preston went to the Andrew Jackson High School of Advanced Technology, and went on to study computer science at the Florida Institute of Technology. A fellow man of science. Nice to know. I opened up a new tab and logged into Facebook, but the man spoke again. No. You get back onto this video and you stay here. You've gone the past 8 years posting whatever the hell you feel like, and you're not getting away with it. Obviously I ignored him, but then I felt my laptop start to heat up, to the point it was painful to have on my lap. Yeah, that's right. Get back here or I blow up the damn battery. You want third-degree burns on your whole body? Reluctantly, I switched back to the video, and the computer cooled down. That's what I thought. Now, back to our deep dive. All of this information was being projected onto the screen for the audience, and myself, to see. The slide switched over to some pictures. Now, Preston grew up and went to school in Florida. That much has been established. But is he still there? Thankfully, we can find that too. 2 years ago, Preston made a status update where he mentioned moving to Oregon for work. Oregon is a pretty big place, though. Thankfully, his workplace is listed on Facebook too. Preston works at Digital Solutions LLC. We can Google that and see it's located in downtown Salem, the state's capital. According to their website, they're a design company, and Preston has worked there for just under 2 years. So because of that, it's reasonable to believe that Preston likely lives within a 60-minute round-trip commute to his workplace, as that is the national average. The company website was replaced with a map of Oregon, a purple circle spread out, its centre in Salem. This circle represents the likely area that Preston lives in. It looks pretty big, but the average salary for a digital media specialist is $43,396, so we can shrink the circle a bit, as he likely does not live in Portland on a budget that small. And the circle shrank. Now, since we have Preston's name, we can look for him on other social media platforms. Instagram is owned by Facebook, so let's go there next. The map shrunk and moved to the top right-hand corner of the screen as the man pulled out his phone and cast his Instagram to the screen. We enter the search tab and look up Preston Lucio. 3 accounts show up. One is in Hindi, so we can ignore that. The next has a bio mentioning a school that is located in Norway, so also not him. Here he is, the username @PrestonLucio101. Only 4 posts. Not a fan of Instagram, Preston? The man in the audience laughed again. Well, doesn't appear to be much to use here. First post is a selfie, but we knew what he looked like from his Facebook page. Next 2 are pictures of his dog, a pit bull named Scotty. Although the second post of him says he's passed away. How tragic. And finally, a picture of his car, and he didn't include the license plate. Maybe he's not a total idiot. More laughter and a wicked grin to the camera. But he drives a gold Toyota Camry, as this was posted just a couple of days ago, with the caption, "New whip, who dis?" The man shook his head. I take back him not being a total idiot. More laughter from the crowd. Well, let's check for him on Snapchat. I got a buzz and saw the notification on my phone screen. TEDtalker added you. The man looked at the camera. Do I need to tell you what happens if you don't accept? My hands were shaking so bad, I barely could. But I pressed accept. Wonderful! And now that Preston and I are friends, I can see him on a nifty little feature called Snap Map. You just swipe down and you can see all of your friends' avatars, called Bitmojis, and when they last used the app. He tapped my Bitmoji, and my name appeared with "Seen just now" at the bottom of the screen. And this information is precise. We can see his exact house. And now we zoom out slightly and see that he does indeed live in Salem, what looks like about 4 miles from his job. I can't get his exact address, but from this, you could easily navigate your way to his home. I heard hundreds of camera shutters as people photographed the map. By this point, I was openly crying as the man showed my life to these people. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do with this information, but I would want to teach this guy a lesson, personally. But hey, I'm not encouraging violence or anything like that. Just an idea is all. And he smiled again, directly at me. That is why you should be careful what you share online. I hope this makes you all think. And Preston, I feel you'll be seeing a lot of us very soon. He spread his hands in a "see" gesture as the audience started standing up and moving to the exits. And then he pointed to the letters behind him, present in most TED Talks, telling the viewer where the speech was delivered from. They read, TEDx, Salem. And the screen went dark. I slammed the laptop shut and threw it across the room. I went to my window and already saw cars pulling up outside. I locked my door, and not a minute later I heard people start pounding on it. Glass broke outside on what I assume was my car. I went for my phone that I left on the couch, but a rock soared through my window before I could reach it. I grabbed a fireplace poker as a figure jumped through my window. He looked to be a teenage boy in a black hoodie and jeans, holding a small wooden bat. He laughed when he saw me and swung the bat, but I was able to sidestep and smack him in the face with the poker. While he was stunned, I stabbed him through the chest and pushed him back out through the window. He screamed as he fell, and I snatched the bat up off the floor and ran to my bathroom as more people started climbing in through the window. I locked the door behind me and sat, holding it shut with my feet. I've called the police, but honestly, I don't think they'll be here in time.